Okay. Our camera lady, Kimberly, she's going to do a cosplay of June, which you can see she's, like very heroic. She's the only female in the group. She's also an orphan. And she acts like a big sister to number 4, who was an orphan. Do you remember the snack shop at all that they ran? Or?
Only vaguely. I do know that I had I can thank June partially for the development of my male libido.
Okay. The snack shop, and we do have pictures of that. In Japan, they have a lot of mom and pop stores, and people right in their front door of their house, they can open up a snack shop, and she serves fried octopus as well as
right.
Yeah. And so, and by the way, that's a favorite snack at baseball games is fried octopus. So.
Well, and it's the celebration and enjoyment of food is a very anime kind of thing.
Right, absolutely. She's very compassionate. She takes care of animals, and like if there's a wounded squirrel or something, she'll take care of that. But if it's one of Zoltar's animals, she's not going to be very compassionate with those.
By Zoltar, he means bird Katse,
right.
The mutant hermaphroditic shapeshifter who ran Galactor.
Right.
Well, who ran Galactor under, what was the name of the big guy?
We just call him Leader X.
Leader X.
Okay. As far as her motorcycle, one of the complaints that they had about the anime was that they kept using stock footage, meaning in every single episode they would run the same thing. And do you remember how like so she has a motorcycle, and then instead of like moving forward, the motorcycle would bounce up and down while the foreground was moving forward. So you'd see like this, the motorcycle was just standing still while the road was moving right ahead of you like that.
They use those production tricks to fill in time, like. Are we going to get to 7 Zark 7?
Yeah.
Talking about
absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
Right.
So, okay. Her weapon is a yo-yo, and if you can see, I didn't get a really good picture of the yo-yo, so I just took 2 people's sketches, and she's really adept with the yo-yo, and it also can turn into an explosive yo-yo. So,
well, she was very effective at using that to pull machine guns out of the enemy's hands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, and in the lower left-hand corner, you can see her civilian look, and the motorcycle again transmutes into the hero version as well. Everyone's does. Okay. Number 4 is Genpei, also known as Kiop. His job is he's the recon patrol. Forward, if you have Navy reference, it's called FAC-A, where you go ahead and you scout the territory and then come back and report. Again, we mentioned earlier he lives with June in the snack shop house, and he's only 11 at the start of the series. And you want to talk about that list, but I don't know if you could do that.
Well, they had great voices in Battle of the Planets. They had Casey Kasem, for example, doing number 1, Ken or Mark, and or is it Ken or Mark? I keep mixing them up. In any case, Casey Kasem did his voice, but Kiop had a bizarre verbal tick where every time he spoke, he'd say, "Where are we going? What's up now?" And it's the only version where he talks like that, but it's quite distracting.
Yeah. In theory, they thought that they were replacing Japanese swear words or something, but when you actually look at the ADV version, they're not saying any swear words. So we have no idea why Sandy Frank decided to put in those weird noises for the guy, because he's actually quite normal in anything other than the Battle Over Planets version. So, okay, the next one, his normal vehicle is kind of like a car, and his super vehicle is the dune buggy. You can see he actually is able to just use that as a bedroom sometimes when he's doing like forward reconnaissance and he has to wait for something to happen, and he just goes to sleep out there, until something does happen. His weapon is a bolas, which it's kind of like 2 yo-yos tied together, or what would you call that? The thing that
well, it's the standard bolas, but he was actually really heroic in every version except Battle of the Planets, where they exploited him for comic relief.
Right, yeah. He was never made into a, you know, in Battle of the Planets he was kind of, yeah, he's made into like this, oh, he's just a kid and stuff like that, but in the other versions he was never really, you know, looked down upon in that way. The bolus comes from Patagonia, from South America.
Do they?
Correct? Yeah. Okay, and here's a picture of the snack shop. She's actually doing dishes in that scene, and I don't know why he's looking at the camera. And of course they have a garage. If the J wasn't cut off on the other side, that's where the snack shop would, you know, they just open up for business every day and then shut down at the end of the night when they're not being superheroes. Okay, and G5 is Ryu Nakanashi, otherwise known as Tiny, and he's the pilot of the God Phoenix. He's the only non-orphan. His parents actually are pretty rich. They own a yacht club or something like that and several yachts. So he's at age 21, he's the oldest, but he's not really a leader, and he's always complaining about being bored, tired, and he eats too much. And in the original Series 1, he's not really much of a hero, but in Series 2 and Series 3, when he gets his own vehicle, he becomes more of a hero. Do you want to talk about him in Series 1?
Well, again, with the storytelling, this is remarkably textured storytelling for its day, and the conflict with his family and not being fulfilled in his parents' eyes is really, it's used to great effect in one of the episodes.
And this is Dr. Kazuburo Nambu of the International Science Organization. He supervises the entire team, and he acts like a father figure to all four of the orphans. He doesn't really talk to Tiny that much. In Battle of the Planets, do you remember they called him Chief Anderson? It's actually on that chart. And it's very confusing because he shouldn't be called Chief Anderson because this is Director Anderson and it's a completely different person. So, yeah.
They really, all the team looks up to him like an adopted father, which may explain why Rio and him aren't that close, because Rio has parents.
Yeah, okay.